The Media Project.
Excuse me, do you mind if I join you? Are you sure you don't mind? You're absolutely sure I'm disturbing you?
Quick! We have to kill the boy!
How'd you know he's a vampire?
He's a vampire? Ah!
Hello and happy Halloween. Welcome to the Mental Suppository. I'm Brett Herholtz, joined by Jamie Billings, Kevin Barbary, Andrew Shanley, and Wayne Nevitz. Before we begin, we have a new sponsor to the podcast.
Hello, I'm Michael Caine.
Hello, I am also Michael Caine.
Hello, I'm also Michael Caine.
Hello, I'm Michael Caine too, and we are in
A
Michael Caine support group.
I'm Dr. Lawrence Carter. Here at Michael Caine House, we try to treat the outgoing problem both on one-on-one and sessions.
You might not know this, but I ain't got me peace of mind. And if you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing.
Well, you might not know this, but I discovered that taste and style were commodities that people desire.
Well, you might not know this. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Well, you might not know this, but there are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch.
Well, actually, everybody knows that all of you are doing quoting from Michael Caine movies.
I did not know that.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss this today?
Yes, I've got to be honest with you, Doc, but sometimes I confuse myself with the gecko from the Geico commercials.
And I have the sudden urge to tell people they can save on their car insurance by switching to Geico.
You might not know, this caused me to lose sleep at night.
Is that normal, Doc?
No, you're all just batshit crazy.
If you know someone who's suffering from Michael Caine, call the Michael Caine House today. You might not know this, but there is help for you.
The term we use, Detective Marino, it's not weirdo, but a person suffering from emotional dysfunction and problems of maladaptation, and they never come to my office. That's from Dress to Kill, where he was a therapist.
Ooh.
That was a good movie.
Well, with Halloween upon us, I thought we'd talk about some of our memories of Halloween's past.
I think that, if we all have like our own little stories that we tell about Halloween, that's well and good. But I think one of us here at the table has even more horrifying stories, true stories.
Very true stories.
So how about we have Andrew tell us another horror story from the hotel?
Yes.
The horror story from the hotel. Oh boy.
Any good ones this week?
Okay. The last one, I told you guys the last one about the naked man on the bed, right?
No, I don't think you did.
No, you told us
I
about
didn't tell you.
You told us about the blood that.
Let me go into this story.
You told us about the guy who had all the penis pumps.
Yep, that was
And when you opened up the.
Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun.
In last week's episode, if you had missed it.
In last week's episode,
I was
dildos.
Yeah. So okay. So here's a true story for you. So it's 11 o'clock on like a Monday morning or Sunday. I don't really know.
Time doesn't matter in between.
Do you ever care at this point?
I'm in a hotel.
Time in a bottle. So I am just, living life, working my job, and 11 o'clock is checkout time. So my desk associate is knocking on doors, opening doors, making sure at the hotel, and so he comes down. He's
Hello,
like,
are you dead?
So he comes down. He's like, Andrew, I need you to come with me to this room. And I'm like, okay. He doesn't tell me what. And this guy, he's like, I won't say who he was, but basically he's just like one of these matter-of-fact guys. Like, I've been working this hotel a long enough time, and these people are like a pain in the butt.
I'm a veteran.
It's whatever, man. I don't care anymore.
I've seen some shit.
Like, he's like got the 1,000-yard stare of hotel workers. So I go up there, knock on the door, open it, and there's like a fully naked man lying on the bed. And he's not moving at all.
No part of him is moving?
No part of him is moving. And his ass is literally pointed towards us, towards the door.
Well,
So-
if you want the door, it's
Well, paint-
over there.
Well, also paint the picture of was this person quite skinny, rotund?
He was I'll just say he was rather plump.
Okay.
He was plump enough.
All right.
I mean, I don't judge people by their shape or size, but he was
Weekend
definitely
dad
plump.
going out for some
I
fun.
mean, you know, as far as asses go, I mean, it was pretty round. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
On
So
a scale, but on a scale of 1 to 10, judging you as the basis, would you say it was like large you, small you?
it was a little larger than me.
you could
Okay.
bounce, you could bounce
It
a
was-
watermelon off it.
I mean,
There we go.
I mean, I would say it was more like a watermelon. So there's that. And so my associate, he just starts yelling full volume. Checkout time! 11 o'clock! Checkout time!
Please tell me the guy accidentally
In the
farts.
room, right next to him.
In the room, at the door, and we're yelling full volume. And he's just...
Oh, you did all that to
And-
confirm he was dead?
And we were just like, oh, God. Please don't be dead. And then we hear... Okay, so he's not dead yet. All right, great. So
He's just very, very unconscious.
I go downstairs. I let him go downstairs. I stay at the door, and I'm like, all right, call the police. Police bring... They show up.
I can't imagine the police officer on. What do we got coming down? Something about a naked guy on the ground. Oh, crying out loud!
And-
All right,
Again?
get the gloves.
So then this
Third
female,
one today.
So this female officer comes. A female police officer. You know, we respect our police officers. This was probably not how she was.
That's the way some porn start. Sorry.
So
always how
she
porn
shows
starts.
up, got her mask, got her Narcan, she's ready to go.
I'm Officer McFeely here. I'm here to frisk you, and then the music starts.
And I'm just like
Wow,
watching
wow,
this.
wow.
I'm like at this job for like maybe 3.
Oh God.
Toward the tail end of your...
I mean, it was the first hotel I worked at. That was before I moved to another hotel. And so she comes in. She's like, okay, where's the room? I go, bring her to the room. I'm like, yelling at him at the same time, hey, police! Hello! Police! Hello, sir! And so basically, he's just,
being an ass.
What? No, he's still knocked out.
I understand that, but the guy downstairs doesn't have to keep yelling.
he's just snoring away. And what she does? She smacks him on the ass.
Oh no.
And
Well,
he
she
just
was wearing gloves. She was wearing
He
gloves.
was wearing gloves. Whack! And the guy's like, "Whoa!" Pops up. You see the full
The body
Monty.
you mean the body pops up, not
Yeah, he just pops up. The naked man swings. He just starts like, oh my God! She steps back. She starts to reach for her sidearm, and I'm like,
Well, she's probably thinking angel dust.
yeah. And I'm like thinking to myself, oh shit, I do not want to see this happen. I don't want to see. And she's like,
Is he concealing a weapon?
See, now
Oh, that's
this-
something
he's
else.
not. Yeah.
No,
so,
this is also how horror movies start. Just to
Oh,
point
yeah,
that out.
that's true.
And so basically, she's like, hey, this guy over here, he's the manager. You're gonna leave right now? Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Okay. Okay, bye. He leaves. The fire department showed up, and they were gonna they had a gurney ready to drag him out. Okay. Yeah, I know something you want to see at Walt Disney World.
Is that where your first hotel was? Oh.
It wasn't exactly the Magic Kingdom.
It was for him.
It was a magical kingdom of other things, but that was definitely not it. So after he okay, he's left. So I put a DNR on the guy so he can't ever rent.
Oh man.
Do not resuscitate on a...
Do not rent.
Oh,
Do not
okay.
rent. Oh, my
Okay,
God.
Sorry.
Do not resuscitate. That's a whole other thing. No, I
That
wasn't
might
gonna
work, too. I've
resuscitate.
never heard of DNR in
Look-
anything other than that.
I'm not resuscitating a naked man on a bed in a hotel. Fuck that.
So what you're saying is you have limits to what you're willing to do for your
Yeah,
employer.
I mean, for the pay
Don't
that
we
they were
all?
offering me at that time, that was
I've
not
yet to find out.
At least she only slapped him on his ass. It's
Yeah.
not like he was like rolled over on his front, like, wake up, honk.
The slap.
whack.
Actually, Not exactly sure what it's called, but there is a form of sleep paralysis.
No, I have sleep paralysis.
Yes,
but that's
no, that's
But
different.
you don't
That's
find
different.
yourself lying naked on top
No.
of
It's not that
do
kind of
you?
paralysis.
no.
you know
What
I mean?
actually, there's some people have a different version of it, and I've yet to have this type of version. But some people say that they experience a demon or some type of entity that's also in the room,
I've had
holding
that.
down their chest or something,
I've
like
had that.
while your eyes are wide awake. So, but for me, my eyes are wide awake, but yet my body can't move. And for a while,
Yet your brain is
I
thinking.
always thought this
I'm
was
fully
still
conscious.
continuing of part of a dream until I remember one time I was like screaming at my wife, like in my mind, as my eyes are wide open. I'm seeing her start to walk down the stairs, and I'm like, in reality, I'm just going, because my body is like not able to like respond, and for like a few moments, and then I can slowly get my muscles going, Lisa, and I yell out her name, and then I'm like finally up and moving and stuff.
So you turn into the boss.
Oh, Bruce.
Big tractor shut
Is it
down.
just me or does Bruce Springsteen always sound constipated?
Baby, we were born to sleep. Baby,
No, but I don't.
more prune juice.
Dude, we're writing the next hit he's gonna come out with right now.
But I don't really have that feeling of like
Seriously,
a weird
Bruce, just take a
entity
shit.
or
Born
evil thing
to
in the room.
marinade.
Born to marinate. Okay.
But yeah, so working
I'm
in the hotel industry is just one of those special.
Well, you got a lot of interesting stories out of it.
Would you like?
Yes, please, sir.
Hold on
May
a
I have
second. Hold
another-
on. Wayne,
Would you-
ready? Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? So okay, so
Please, sir, can I have more?
there was a gentleman that went into our hotel. So he was brother-in-law of some guy. He was living with his sister and his brother-in-law at his house. Brother-in-law could not stand this guy. So what the brother-in-law did was he took this guy and he literally threw him out of the house and for him to stay.
Oh, lucky you.
Nice.
And we found out just exactly why this brother-in-law did not like him. Because he was like constantly slipped down the QAnon rabbit hole.
Oh, no.
And he was
Okay.
like, all right, so this is in the middle of the pandemic and people are wearing masks. He's like, this whole thing is just a big bull of crap,
Just
not
joke.
real. It's all a big conspiracy.
Okay, I'm just going to say this here and now. People, stop going after people who work in grocery stores, who work in hotels, who, work in the customer service business, who are just following rules. About wearing just because you don't like the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Shut up.
I like a
I mean,
paycheck.
look, I
And if my
understand.
boss says you got to put on a mask in order for
Exactly.
you to get a paycheck,
I'll wear a Deadpool mask. I don't care.
Well, the original Green Hornet mask from the 40s was like full face. You could wear that.
That's
totally.
true. That's true.
I do that.
Or Cobra Commander.
But here's also the thing. I can't stand everyone harping on everyone saying about this is my right, this is my right, this is my right. It's like, you're right. You're absolutely right. This is your right. It's your right to choose to be dumb.
It's my right to choose to say fuck off to you.
You have every right
it's
to
my
do that.
It's my choice to be smart. It's your choice to be dumb. It's my choice to wear a mask. It's your choice not.
I kinda
It's my
like the
choice
whole
to get the
living thing.
vaccine. It's your choice not. We can still do that and still
Well,
be civil.
right.
Why is it?
But hold on, you're pointing out the exact reason why we as a society will never see the fantastic science and technology that we had in Star Trek. We're never going to have warp drives.
Nope.
We're never going to be able to beam your body from one place
Well,
to
we're
another
never gonna have the robots
because
and the Jetsons.
there's going
What
to
are you
be
talking
too
about?
many fucking people saying, I don't want that.
Anyways,
No,
I don't believe in science.
Stop. You have to also understand that all of that only came about after a nuclear war.
well,
Okay.
So this is what you have to look at. Where we are now, we are a doomed species unless we get our head out of our ass. But there is no indication we're going to get our head out of our ass.
Getting back to Andrew's story.
I got to complete this. So that was just one of the nice little things that he. The other thing too was like he would constantly be drinking outside.
Oh, nice.
He'd like, I just want to have a drink.
Wait, what's he doing? At least like the bottle in the paper bag. So
Oh,
nobody's.
no.
Okay.
Why would he do that?
Courtesy?
Why? I mean,
just
I
courtesy.
don't need no bag
I'm
to
a
hold
slob,
my
let's-
but at
bottle.
least
find
like,
out
my
more.
slob is in this area, so
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
smoke
courteous to
and
the
I'm
little
gonna
slob.
drink. And
You commies aren't going to tell me what to do.
he would
Socialists.
he would like complain about the internet in the room. Like, I can't connect my PlayStation up to the internet, so I can't play my games. Like, this guy is like the epitome
You're at a hotel.
of
You're
yeah,
not getting
Yeah.
great
Da, da,
internet.
da,
Yeah.
da, da,
I mean,
da.
look,
fuck
dude,
off.
that's exact. The Wi-Fi is cheap and the Wi-Fi sucks. Okay.
Exactly.
Stop.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, I don't know if he was like, I don't know if he was streaming porn or whatever the hell
Probably.
it was. I'm sure he was.
That's all there was. It was
And-
either porn or video games.
he would.
He could have been totally honest and just playing video games.
At least he didn't do like a black light of the room after he was gone and just be like,
stop. That
Oh,
was not
Look,
necessary.
let me tell you something. I actually brought.
Son of a bitch, now I got that vision in my head.
Okay, I actually brought
to
a
evil
black
villain.
light to one of the rooms
oh no.
because I was just curious. And I will say this much:
Curiosity killed the cat.
Jackson Pollock. Everywhere, everywhere, especially the bathroom.
I mean, I can
Oh, he's
understand
courteous
the.
to be in the bathroom
So-
or something.
I can
So-
understand the floor, but the ceiling.
I'm just that
So-
talented.
So that he would like complain about the internet. Well, isn't the internet as good? I can't stream my PlayStation 5 and da 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 da. And then like he would start with his conspiracy theories with other people.
I'm gonna go home and play Super QAnon
He
Brothers.
he would try to convince other people not to wear their masks in common areas. And then like basically my manager's like, you stop that or you're leaving the hotel for good. And so basically he started. So after 3 months of this lovely, joyful, I had a nickname for him. I called him Mr. Happy, because every single time he'd come up to the front desk and I'd have to deal with him. He'd be complaining about
I thought
something.
you were just gonna call him Chodley Choderson.
We all kind of had little nicknames for the people that lived. And then so basically he left the hotel after 3 months. He finally found a place to live, or actually, really should say, a place that would accept his
Right.
ilk. And so he left
the
the
Worcester
hotel.
Motel.
Yes. So after he left, his brother-in-law, who paid for the room, calls us up. He's like, I just wanted to make sure he's out of the hotel. Everything's all taken care of. Because this guy literally took all of his stuff and threw it in a storage unit. He took all of
Wow.
he literally threw him,
Wait, you're saying the brother
brother-in-law,
threw
took
all of his stuff.
threw stuff in the storage unit, threw him in a hotel room. He's like,
"Fuck
you're not
off."
coming back.
Hey, here's the thing though.
Fuck off.
3 months? Most people wouldn't even have given them that much.
I know.
A storage locker? Nobody would have really done something like that. They'd
He
have thrown your
probably-
shit in the street and been done with
He
it.
probably did it because his sister,
Oh, yeah.
his wife was like, you better take care of my brother, at least do something for him.
Why is that his responsibility to take care of your relative?
Hey, let's. Can of worms. Let's not get in there.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Fair enough.
he moves out. The brother-in-law calls us. Right now, he's out taking care of. Like, yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, because like he stayed 90 days, you get.
Nice.
So he got like $600 back, and then he's like, I want to just simply say to you guys, I'm really sorry for whatever he did and put you guys through.
Good guy. Yeah.
And I was just like, no, don't worry about it.
That's
It's
what we're
okay.
here for.
We're here to be abused.
In the back room.
It's my job to clean up semen.
We all line
the
up.
back
We
room-
got a vat of petroleum jelly from BJ's.
It's
Oh,
okay. We
got
called the
all cheese.
hazmat team in. It's all right. There weren't any bodies this
In the
time.
back room, you're just like taking out the bottle of whiskey and you're drinking. You're like, oh God, damn it.
Oh boy. Yep. So that was story number 2.
It certainly deserves the word number 2.
Number 2.
It's a new show coming out, and I think you guys need to know about it.
Will I like it?
Well, we both know the answer to that.
Probably right.
On the mean streets, I'm judge and jury. Some call me a lone wolf. Others call me a loose cannon.
Did somebody mention cannon?
Wrong cannon, William Conrad! As I was saying, Call me a loose cannon who takes the law in his own hands. But when you're in trouble, when you have no one else to turn to, you can call CAMARO Man.
Here's those files, Chief Iguana.
Drug trafficking ring? I see our old friend Blanco is up to his old tricks.
Are we gonna go after him, Chief?
No chance when he's the brother of the district attorney. My hands are tied by red tape.
There is one man who can cut through the red tape,
What
sir.
is it? Don't say his name.
You guys talking about the CAMARO Man?
Damn it! I told you not to say his name!
Why? Don't you think he's the right man for the job?
No! He's the perfect man for the job. I just can't stand him being called the CAMARO Man.
But he drives a Camaro.
It's not a real Camaro!
But it's manufactured by a Chevrolet company.
And it has the name Camaro on it.
It's not a real Camaro! If it was driven sometime before 1967, then it could be called a Camaro. Is there anyone else we can call?
No.
Fine. Call him.
You mean the Camaro Man?
Shut up!
Later the same hour.
You wanted to see me, Iguana?
No. But I have a case for you. Our old friend Blanco is up to his old tricks.
And I suppose John Q. Law is looking the other way because his brother is the DA?
If I could go after him, I'll lose my job. You can handle this case or not.
Of course I can. Because I'm
Oh dear God, don't say it.
the CAMARO Man.
You don't drive a Camaro, you idiot! You drive an imitation Camaro! Anything made after 1982 is crap!
We think he's hiding out in the warehouse by the docks, Camaro Man.
Son of a bitch, you're not helping!
It doesn't surprise me Blanca would be hanging out with the rest of those wharf rats. Will you need our help, Camaro Man?
You know what? Screw you both!
I got this, gentleman. Blanco should have learned his lesson from the last time he dealt with the CAMARO Man.
Just go die somewhere!
Tune in next week and find out what happens on The Camaro Man.
Imitation Camaro!
What's on Tubi?
What's the movie?
It's a documentary about the lady who played Vampira back in the 50s.
Okay.
And
Was this produced by Dana Gould?
Don't know.
Basically,
it was just
before she died.
Really?
Nice.
She actually sued Elvira.
That's right.
Yeah, and it was interesting.
yesterday.
I heard about that.
God
Yep.
bless her. I always knew she was gay. Always knew. Like
A
those
fabulous lady too, by the way. But basically, it's a doc called "It's
magnificent
Vampire and Me."
knockers.
It basically goes over the whole history of like her
Yeah,
show,
about that.
and how she stayed in Hollywood, and how they kind of screwed her out of her show.
Right.
Because when she signed the contract, she signed it as Vampira,
which is
not.
Coming soon from the creators of The Walking Dead.
I'll be right out. I just need to use the bathroom. Oh my god!
Hey, what's taking you so? Sweet, merciful crap!
Is that zombie jerking off?
How is that possible?
I have no idea. It's the Whacking Dead.
Should I shoot him in the head? Which head?
The Whacking Dead. Only on AMC. Television has officially run out of ideas.
If he could actually have a voice and Thing could have one line throughout all the series, just one line ever.
Uncle Fester makes me jerk him off.
I've seen Uncle Fester's starfish.
Wow. Smell my finger.
Or pull my finger.
Whoa! This is I don't know how to follow that one.
I don't know either.
Grandmama uses me as her sex toy.
That too.
Get back over here! Wiggle that finger some more!
Is this like the porn version?
Mental Suppository.
I'm sure there's an Addams Family porn. But now we're getting off into
that's
a whole,
everything.
whole other subject altogether.
Hello.
I actually wanted to talk about unconventional Halloween movies.
Right.
These are movies that, people might not necessarily consider Halloween movies, but they actually kind of are, and ones that we might like. So I'm going to bring up a couple right now. One is a film some of you might not have seen, but I really enjoy, was Vincent Price, The Witchfinders General.
Yep.
Okay.
Which was a movie that takes place in Cromwell's England, and it has Vincent Price in it as a guy who basically goes town to town. He's a con man, and it's supposedly loosely based on true actual events where he was kind of a con man who killed innocent people, saying that they're witches, like what happened in Salem, Mass. But what made the film great, it was another one of these American international films that made the films like Dr. Fives and a lot of like the horror films and the science fiction films that came out, a lot of the Roger Corman films.
Hammer Corporation.
It was like America's kissing cousin to Hammer Films.
Right.
And so this one was really great because Vincent Price actually is very subtle in his portrayal in the film of the Witchfinder General, but also you actually really hate the character. Whereas in a lot of his other films, even though he's playing the villain, you can't help but like him. He's Vincent Price.
Well, that's what I've always said. The mark of a true actor is how much you hate that person because he's doing such an amazing job. He plays
a real bastard in this film, and he
Right.
just does such an amazing job. And he has that sort of that kind of swagger that Vincent Price has in his usual films, but they're all really toned down. The other one I really like is Arsenic and Old Lace.
Oh, but that is comedic.
It's comedic, but it's a Halloween film because you have
true.
you have the two aunts who are like killing people and burying them in their basement because they think they're doing something good.
What? Why? What are we doing wrong?
But apparently, Cary Grant really hated his performance in that film because he just felt he was too hammy and too over the top.
Because Cary Grant's not a comedian.
Exactly.
See, that's the thing. Cary Grant is a stage actor and
And a lover.
It's not a fighter.
Not a fighter.
But he had no comedic chops in him.
Right.
So he was very, very nervous about trying to be funny.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And again, problem with the studio, let's put who we think is going to be good at this with his face and his name rather than somebody who's going to make the character shine.
However, I didn't think he was bad in the film.
Somebody else could have been better.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think one of the biggest tragedies of the film was originally Boris Karloff was on stage, played the
original
Jonathan Brewster's brother, and the whole joke in the film is he had Peter Lorre's character gave him cosmetic surgery, and he says everybody thinks I look like Boris Karloff, and that was the joke because he looks like Frankenstein's monster in the film. And the part ended up going to Raymond Macy, who was made
for the movie.
Yeah, for the movie. Because Karloff was unable to get out of, I forget what if it was a stage.
He was doing a stage production
That's it.
of Arsenic and Old Lace, and they refused to release him so that he can make the movie. Again, similar to Magnificent Seven, they probably could have done it in a very short period of time. Everyone
probably
knew
in
their
like
parts.
a week.
Yeah.
A week or 2 weeks.
The interesting part is that movie was filmed in 42, but it wasn't released till 44 because of the stage play. For some reason, there was some sort of a clause.
Legal clause, yep.
Exactly. So, all right, going around, Jamie, unconventional horror movies that you really enjoy that people might not consider to be horror movies.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think.
I got one.
Oh, you do?
And I just told this to Jamie earlier. The Manson Brothers Midnight Zombie Massacre. I think that's it.
That's quite a title.
It is quite a title. Yes, it's a really bad movie in regards to it was designed to be a bad movie, but it's got great acting chops. It's got great surprise people who are in the movie. Adrian Pasdar is in this movie, and he plays a whacked out nitrous sniffing doctor who just recently got his license back to be able to.
It's almost like Blue Velvet.
Yeah, kind of a little bit like, but more comedic. A lot more comedic, and it's based on a low-level wrestling location, And the Manson brothers are brothers who do wrestling for this. They used to be big, but then they kind of came down.
Right.
The whole movie is based on these 2 days, and you see all the back stuff going on, all the stupidity, the making fun of each other, how wrestling is fake. They talk about how they're going to come up with their moves and what plans they're doing, who's going to win, who's going to lose, all ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this guy who's giving out these really bad Chinese steroids so people can get big, and it's making people into zombies. And those people, of course, bite people who turn those people into zombies. So it progresses from there. But the whole thing is just so outlandishly stupid. It's so ridiculously funny at the same time. You've got to see it. Just look up the Manson Brothers.
I'll check it out.
See, that's my idea.
And it's on YouTube. You can watch it right now on YouTube.
That's my idea. People, when they think of Halloween, they think of like monster films, horror films. Whereas I think with like Witchfinder General, there's no the only monster in it is the Witchfinder General, who's not, more is just a really nasty person rather than.
I think the reason why I can't think of one is because I don't just watch horror movies during Halloween.
We're a little desensitized.
If I'm not feeling good, if I'm depressed, or if if I'm sick and got the cold or a flu or something, I'm watching zombie movies all the time. I'm watching, the Saw movies, anything just to get through the day.
I got one.
One.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Yes, Michael Caine.
The Hand.
Okay.
The Hand.
I know what you're talking about.
The Hand.
What?
Now this goes. Okay, so let me base the premise of the story.
Hand.
Michael Caine's character is a cartoonist. He's having marital problems with his wife. In the process of that, he ends up losing his hand, the hand that he uses to draw.
Oh. Okay.
He then gets a mechanical one in its place. Now, he can't draw anymore, of course. He can't do it with his left hand, and his right hand with a mechanical one doesn't do shit. So he goes to teaching. And he ends up drinking, and of course the marital status starts going downhill, and now he starts suspecting his wife is having an affair. And then people start to die. And they start getting evidence of this death with hand marks around their neck, as if they were strangled by a single hand. As the story progresses, we start, because this is a Brian De Palma film.
Okay.
Because it's a Brian De Palma film, it's all psychologically based. We're led to believe that as far as Michael Caine's concerned, there's another killer out there. Whether it's an actually disembodied hand or not is irrelevant. There's another killer out there. Whereas everyone around Michael Caine is like, no, dude, it's you. You're the killer. It's you. In the very end, of course, the bodies are all found in Michael Caine's trunk of his car. He has a nervous breakdown. He's then strapped into a chair at a medical lunatic asylum.
Right.
He's strapped in. Both hands, one mechanical, one not, strapped to the chair, and he's sitting to a doctor. The doctor is good 10 feet away from him. The doctor comes over and disconnects the latch to his hand, goes back to sit to her chair, continues the conversation with him. Then all of a sudden, she gets strangled while Michael Caine is still sitting on the other chair. And then after the strangulation, he calmly detaches the strap from his other hand, gets up, and walks away. Crazy, the whole idea, but the fact that if you watch that ending scene, it's like, hey, my buddy finally showed up and took out someone at the time I needed him to. Outstanding. Well, let's move on.
Well, it's not really like a horror movie, but have you guys seen not horror.
Halloween?
It's not a Halloween movie, not specifically like something that takes place in Halloween, but the movies of Ari Aster are pretty damn disturbing. Ari Aster.
What has he done?
He's done Hereditary.
Midsommar is another one.
And Midsommar.
Okay, I have not seen either of those, but
I have heard Hereditary is pretty messed up.
Like Hereditary is really now the thing with Ari Aster in his movies is that you have to watch them because he puts.
Those are drums.
Oh my gosh.
He puts so much detail.
He puts so many hidden things throughout the beginning part of the movie into you just have to pay attention because he puts the movie right there in front of you within like the first couple of minutes, and as you're watching the movie, you're just like, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on?
Oh, he already.
And then all of a sudden, something happens, and you're like, whoa! Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that. And you're like, Are you sure you weren't expecting that? Because if you look back on the movie again, and like I had to watch like one of those YouTube.
It's one of those
YouTube videos where
movies,
they're like, so I watched this movie at half pace, and here's what you missed and why it led up to all this other stuff, and you're like, you've been watching this whole movie the whole time, and you knew exactly what was supposed to be happening because it was there in front of you. Like in Midsommar, there's this really long panning shot of a cartoon sketch which basically depicts the entire movie from start to finish, and even still, as the camera pans through, the characters walk behind it, and it just shows you it the whole time, just panning through and back to the characters. Little did you know that you needed to pay attention to that because that was the whole film right there. He's so clever by putting these little things throughout. It spices them throughout the whole movie. But Hereditary, I'd recommend that as being if you want to sit down and watch a movie on Halloween. Go with Hereditary.
Okay. I have a movie. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but definitely unconventional. It is titled Magic, directed by Richard Attenborough.
Stop. Is it with Anthony Hopkins?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I love that movie.
Okay. So set the scene. Okay, Anthony Hopkins, he's playing this guy who's like a magician's assistant. He wants to be a big magician, but he's failing at it. So he decides that he's going to be a ventriloquist. And so he gets this dummy. This ventriloquist dummy. He calls him.
What are you calling me?
And so basically, what happens is he starts developing.
He calls the dummy Fats.
Yeah, the name of the dummy is Fats.
Oh, like a Fats Domino kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the name of the dummy.
Okay.
But what happens is he develops like a multiple personality disorder,
schizophrenic,
between himself and the dummy. And the dummy, like Anthony Hopkins learned how to throw his voice for this movie.
That's amazing.
He does magic tricks and everything else like that. He learned how to do all this stuff, and so
method actors.
Oh yeah.
He's on the cusp of stardom. Like his agent,
finally getting his big break.
Is like, hey, guess what? They want to pay. Like they want you to do a special. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. All the usual 1970s TV show stuff. Oh, you're going to get this. You're going to get that. You're ready to do this.
While he's having a nervous breakdown.
And he starts to have a nervous breakdown. And so he just disappears to go to his hometown where everybody he's ever known is gone except for one person, which is this girl that he had a crush on back in high school. And so she has like a bed and breakfast, and he takes like the bed and breakfast off season. And he's like staying there for a couple days. And he just goes crazy. Like his manager comes up. He's like, "What are you doing? Come on, etc., etc." And the dummy starts controlling him and making him do things like, or this. Is
this what the basis for the ventriloquist in Batman was based on?
I was about to actually make that exact same analogy.
The ventriloquist in Scarface.
So. Yeah, but basically, it's like he goes completely bananas, and he just he kills his agent. Then the girl that he's interested in, they have a toward affair. Her husband comes back. They have a conversation. He ends up killing him, and then it's just like, is he going to kill her?
All of this is because the dummy is telling him to do this. Similar to Scarface always tells the Weasley guy who controls him, do
Mr.
this,
Scarface, please,
do that.
I don't want...
It's reminiscent.
Shut up, dummy!
It feels really reminiscent of like 1970s serial killers, like Son of Sam, where the dog would tell him what to do.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a film that was directed by Richard Attenborough of all people. It's right off of A Bridge Too Far. It was right after A Bridge Too Far, which came out a year earlier. I mean, this huge historic war movie that took years to make, and then he's deciding, I'm going to make a horror movie.
Yeah, but you also have to understand, for certain people like him, he was probably looking for the most simplest, most relaxed, 9 to 5 kind of a job for me for now. I'll make this movie.
I need like Brian Cox.
Brian Cox, thank you. I was just about to mention
Cox
him.
never accepts a film role, and he's like, unless I'm working 9 to 5.
Monday
through Friday, 9 to 5.
He's never made a prominent role in all of his movies because he's always been, I need to be from here to here, and that's it. I go home, I go to bed. I'm like an old person. I got a schedule.
Yeah.
Don't screw with it.
And the thing about it is that it's got this great score by Jerry Goldsmith.
Yes, Jerry Goldsmith.
And it just has that harmonica in there.
Yep.
It's like the fucking Jaws theme. It's got that Jaws theme thing with the
Where it
harmonica.
just has like
Very-
very
very
few
underrated
notes.
movie. Magic.
I wish
was.
we had a
And
Brendan
and
with
it's
a
really
harmonica just to do the Jaws theme.
If you think about it, the two directors, Brian De Palma, Richard Attenborough, making almost the exact same movie of a person going completely mad, but told from two totally different perspectives. Whereas Brian De Palma's very side-to-side imaging, where he likes to show the perspectives of multiple people in the same shot, or where you have Attenborough, where throughout the whole movie you get the impression he's nuts, or wait a minute, did the dummy just move?
Yeah.
So you never know in the very. It's
just so subtle.
But again, it's the same exact story though, just told from completely different perspectives.
I have one more to bring up. It's not really I don't know if it can be considered a horror film. It's more of a comedy. The Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh,
Oh
God,
my
shut
gosh.
up! Shut up! That movie sucked.
No, it didn't. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you! That movie
Fuck
was
you back.
Fuck you!
What the fuck happened here?
It's
All right,
no. It
I
is
have
a
seen that movie.
horrible movie. Yes,
Wrong!
it's got its points. I don't argue that.
It's
but
cheese factor.
It's
All right, hold
cheese
on.
factor.
Brett,
Absolutely.
what is it?
Okay.
It's a remake of Phantom of the Opera, but it all takes place with somebody creating basically a rock opera based on Faust.
It's like
Okay.
yeah, it's like disco.
Disco's version of it.
Disco's
That's what
version
killed
of
it.
Oh, disco.
There's a scene. All right, there's a scene in
got
the
me.
movie
All right.
where Paul Williams, very short Paul Williams, Smoking the Bandit.
Smoking the Bandit.
Okay, Paul Williams comes into this room. He's wearing these kind of like flowing silvery gowns, kind of like what you see the Bee Gees wear. And there's all these women lounging around, looking up at him. Oh, he's here. Oh, we love you. Oh, it's Paul Williams, dude.
That's the
What
joke.
the-
That's
I
the
know
joke.
that's the joke, but it's such a bad joke.
I know, but I mean the thing
Boy,
about
this is really pissing you off,
Oh
isn't
man,
it?
that was a bad movie.
that was a
I
bad
enjoyed
movie.
it just
But
because
you know what?
it was a bad film.
It has its cult following.
Yes.
It does.
It does have its. It's like
And I enjoyed the music.
It's like Listomania.
It's like that. It's like that. They were trying to make a cult film because
Well, it was Brian
Rocky
De
Horror
Palma.
Picture Show.
Brian De
I was
Palma.
gonna say
sent-
Rocky,
direct-
because of Rocky House.
Yeah, it feels a lot like that. But the difference.
So like
obviously-
another studio's answer to the question
let's
of who
make a
wants
shitty
another
movie that
who wants
that'll be
another
popular
Rocky
in
Horror.
25 years.
Not many people.
Exactly. But they
Well,
still
what
did
happens
it anyway.
is in the film, the guy who originally wrote the rock opera gets screwed out of it by Paul Williams' character Swan, and he ends up, I think his face ends up, something cheesy where his face ends up getting ruined in the record press, and so he ends up haunting the paradise.
See, I remember a lot of Paul Williams from the Muppet Show.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, he also wrote The Rainbow Connection.
Really?
Yes,
I did
he
not
did.
know that.
I didn't know that. Wow, you learn something new every day.
I was
didn't
actually
know
going to
Paul
mention
Williams wrote that.
Phantom of the Paradise too, but I was like, no, let's go a little more subtle.
Yeah.
One last.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me. Anyone?
It's your birthday? Yeah.
No. Happy
haven't heard
birthday
that one.
to me.
No,
It's
I'm not
another
familiar with it.
psychological story. It's basically the story of a young girl whose mother dies in a car crash because she had a birthday party and nobody showed up. She was an illegitimate child of this rich guy in this town. And so she and the mother, completely against the daughter's will, went to the house to complain to the father. It's like, this is your daughter. It's her birthday. You're gonna celebrate. She's drunk off her ass. The kid's trying, let's just go home. Let's just go home. Has an accident. Mother dies. Daughter has a mental breakdown. Next year comes around. Now all these people, all her friends, as her birthday is starting to come closer, start dying one by one in these horrific deaths. Now, nobody sees the killer's face, so we all think that the woman who's the daughter is the one doing the killings.
Right.
She finally snapped. But there's the way they did some of the killings. One guy, he's lifting weights, and the person shows up, and he's like, oh, hey, what's going on? They know him. Okay. Mind putting a little bit more weight? Puts a couple of more weights
This sounds
on it.
familiar, yeah.
Starts pumping up. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Let's try it again. Put some more weight on it. So he lifts it up, and he is able to hold it, but he can't bring it down because he knows he won't be able to lift it back up. And as he's holding it there, the person slowly takes the holders away from where his head is.
God.
And so now he sees that the holders are going, hey, man, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? Well, he's trying to hold this up. And you see this slow progression as he comes over with another weight, and he puts him right above his nutsack.
Oh, God.
Man. And then there's this another great scene where this guy's working on this motorcycle. It's cold. He has a scarf. He's revving up the engine. Checking out the sparks, getting to make sure everything's going. This person just walks up quietly behind them, takes a stick, grabs their scarf, throws it right in the wheel, and you just see the spokes go right through his face.
Like Pet Cemetery 2.
Like that. Oh, but it was nasty because the editing was so quick. It was very.
Was that Clancy Brown? He took not Clancy Brown.
Lex Luthor?
No.
When Clancy Brown did do Lex Luthor.
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did.
He did.
He was a great Lex Luthor. That's for another show.
Very deadpan in his voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was that great scene where he switches bodies with the Flash, and he says, "Now I'll know who the Flash is." Takes it off him. I have no idea who this person is.
All right. I got to go to the bathroom.
Actually, before we... Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, before we...
No, go ahead. Keep talking. We don't need Jamie.
Yeah.
We don't need Jamie.
I was just going to say, one more go around the room. Your favorite horror film. Something, you could just watch, on Halloween or anything. I'll go first. I'll have to say
Jamie's like, I have too many.
I'll have to say...
Too many.
I know it is, but I'll say The Abominable Dr. Phibes. That's the one I like to put on every Halloween. That's like the first one of the year because it's just so over the top, so campy.
No, absolutely.
Great,
Agreed.
Great lines by Vincent Price, and just the whole character where he's talking through this phonograph or this speaker, and just the great lines of like 9 have died, 9 or no, it's like 9 killed you, 9 shall die. And he's not really a villain in the film. He's actually, avenging his wife's death, who was, killed at the hands of these different doctors. And so he's killing them all through the plagues of Egypt.
Showgirls.
That is a pretty awful film.
That is the most horrific film ever made. And I tell you why. Because everybody's got AIDS and shit.
What?
There's a scene, there's like a line in the movie where this guy's trying to get like this girl to like perform with her, and he's like, hey, everybody's got AIDS and shit. And, like,
that was a pretty awful film.
That was bad.
I mean, honestly, if you want to talk about horrific films, that's it. If you ever wanted to see, like, if you ever thought to something there was too much of something, that's it.
Yep. That one, and there was striptease at the same time, wasn't it?
If you can sit through that whole movie and watch it, then...
Oh, bullshit.
No, the striptease at least had a little bit of
Striptease was better.
Well, it was around the same time. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, again, people like Burt Reynolds and Ving Rhames making fun of themselves. So that's what helped.
But for real? For real?
No.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'll have to think about mine. You go ahead and talk.
Then mine is the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead by Tom Savini.
That's a good one.
That was taking what was great about the original, the original Night of the Living Dead, and just giving it more graphic and just making it a little bit more intense and a tad bit more claustrophobic feeling.
That's what it's good when a remake does that. They don't try to outdo it. They just try to
make it more.
And the thing that I think
the
thing I think is amazing is Tony Todd. But when he goes to do the audition for that movie, they just handed him like the script, and he just sits out back, reads the whole damn thing, and just puts the script down and goes in to start reading. And they're like, "Do you want a script?" And he goes, "No, I got it." He just knew it. He just had Ben. He had the character Ben down, and it does kind of seem
Tony
like
Todd
Ben.
kicks ass.
Tony Todd was kind of meant to be Ben.
Tony Todd, great in that. Patricia Tallman,
she
brought about the fact that the original Judith O'Keefe.
I hated Judith in the original.
She was, but here's the thing: as a person who just saw something
catatonic, she was just completely catatonic the entire time.
But here's the thing: for the time period, that's what women were expected to be. The men were taking over. The women had to
yeah.
But anyway,
it was a little
but
bit
she did. There's certain scenes where you clearly see the scared look in her eyes. She did a really good job in that. Now, Patricia Tallman flipped that on its head by making her a woman who in the
Well,
very
no,
beginning is still scared.
She started very scared, and
until
then
she had time to process.
and then
she's
once
like,
she was done,
I'm done. I'm through with this bullshit.
That like the scene when the real skinny zombie starts coming through,
Is he dead?
and she starts shooting him.
Is he dead?
Is he dead? And everyone's like, "What, girl? You are losing it."
What I've lost a long time ago, and I'm not gonna.
All right, I'll go to mine. I'll go to
She
mine.
was great.
All right, it's not Showgirls.
There's a
But
it's not
wait,
Showgirls.
wait,
No,
hold
stop.
on. I know, but I just got to. One last point was what I'm trying to make. The real star of that was Harry Cooper,
Oh,
whose name I can't remember either. But that guy, you hated him
Yeah.
so much. And when you have an actor who you literally will want to go to his house, burn it to the ground, and piss on his ashes, that's a damn good actor.
It's
Tom
very
Towles.
true.
Tom Towles.
Tom
yes.
Towles.
That was it. He was in
That's what I just-
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. I
Yes.
was like,
Okay.
I see his face, and I can't remember his
That's
name.
what I wanted to get out. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
go.
My if there's so many to choose from.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Obviously, I think probably my favorite horror movie that if I had to watch over and over again, it would be John Carpenter's The Thing.
I was just thinking
Brilliant.
of that. Another movie that was a remake.
Brilliant.
Amazing effects.
Amazing.
Amazing set. Now it is a remake again of
But
Thing
you,
from Another
it's
World.
you actually remember the remake more than the original.
But the thing about that is
Exactly it, yep.
they completely bring on a new flavor to it. And not only that, the special effects work in that film blows everything away today to this moment.
Yep.
I can't think of any other film that uses practical effects as well as that movie does.
David Cronenberg's The Naked Lunch. Sorry.
I think the only other movie that's almost as good is Cronenberg's remake of The Fly.
I was just gonna say
Oh,
Jeff
gosh,
Goldblum's
yeah.
The Fly was
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
damn good as a
I
remake.
almost
where
would-
where it
Yeah.
seems to be that one's I think better than the 1950s The Fly.
And
Well,
there's another
It's
good
scarier. It's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
disgusting.
It is more disgusting, in which gives
And
you
it's more
more of
believable.
that fear.
Yes.
Yeah, of
You
what you'll
are
be going
along
through.
with Jeff Goldblum's fear of when he's like starting to realize that he's fading in his body, and you're like, oh my god, that
Dude,
body,
what the hell happened
no,
to you?
that body horror fear.
Yeah, exactly.
That was definitely a Cronenberg kind of thing.
and only because I have to have a triple feature, I have to include the 1988 version of The Blob.
The Blob.
Oh!
Kevin Dillon.
With
Shawnee Smith.
With Shawnee
Yep.
Smith. And that movie, again, I would say if I had to rate all three of them, Thing, Fly, Blob.
That's pretty
Fly
good.
Blob.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I would
that's
go
my
with that
triple
too.
feature.
That is
Yep.
really good.
I would probably sit with that triple feature with a lot of popcorn. Yep.
Maybe not during The Fly because you might throw some of that up.
The donut scene.
Okay, so my
never seen how to fly easy donut.
You,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I disgust you?
you jerk.
for me, I was originally going to say the 1968 version of Night of the Living Dead, but that's because I was raised on
Right,
movies of
absolutely.
that nature.
Yeah.
But no, what really Halloween-esque movie does it for me is I cannot remember the year this movie was made. It was a movie called The Legend of Hell House.
Yes.
Roddy McDowell,
Roddy McDowell, yep. remember
Clive Revell,
Clive-
Pamela Honeycutt, and I can't remember the other.
Jerry
lady's name.
Mathers as the Beeb.
But it was very haunted house-esque story, very ghostish,
Yes.
ghost story itself, but it also had a really good scientific aspect of it, as well as a psychological aspect, and showing the duality between how people of knowledge and people with who some aspect touched by God really don't like working together. But it was just really,
Yeah,
it was
sometimes.
very scary.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Very scary.
And then
Okay.
there's Carnival of Souls.
Ooh.
Carnival of Souls.
That was a movie that came out
Carnival
in
of Souls was sort of like the first like zombie movie.
It came
Yeah.
out in like
What?
62 and it's just so boring.
Yes.
Yeah, it is one of those long burn.
It's a
type
talkie.
movies. It's
Yeah.
a talkie.
Oh, really? That I did not
A
know.
lot
I
of
would have to
talking.
look this one up.
They,
It's like,
they
it was
actually,
a Roger
they-
Corman one, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was, but it was like it ended up being on riff tracks. They ended up riffing
Oh,
it.
did they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to
Which
see
is
that
making
then.
it kind of slightly.
It's
more
like
entertaining.
watching Manos, where the riffs help, but not by much.
No, they don't.
when the movie is so
Nothing
bad that
helps
even the
Manos.
riff doesn't help.
Yes.
Oh,
Where you can even feel the pain of the people riffing it.
really?
Can you imagine actually remaking Manos Hands of Fate today?
Well, that's the question.
Would we
you need
redub
to
every
make
voice?
No, but would you need to make it as cheesy and as bad as it was then, or would
Nah.
you try to flesh it out
Yes.
and make it the way the story
But
was
no, no, no.
supposed to
Try
be
to make it
written?
scary.
Who
yeah.
would be
Yeah.
Torgo? That's what I'd like to know. I'm thinking
Jack Black.
Tom Cruise.
Jack Black as
I'm sorry. I got to say this right now. Right now, any movie with Tom Cruise in it can be 10 times better with Tom Cruise out of it.
Well said.
I thought the movie. I thought the movie War of the Worlds was a pretty damn good movie, but every single scene with Tom Cruise just made me want to piss all over it.
Pretty much. I agree.
All right, we got to get him in the scene. Let's put him up on this block right here so he looks taller than the other actress.
Tom
All
Cruise
right,
wants
where's
to
the apple box?
jump an app. he wants to jump a bridge net again. Okay, fine. Just let him do it. I don't care.
Tom Cruise is sharing the scene with the 4-year-old. Get the apple box.
Oh, my
For the 4-year-old? No, for Tom.
Katie Holmes, you might not want to wear high heels in this. You might step on them.
In fact,
Katie
we're
Holmes.
gonna have you walk across in this trench. Okay.
Katie Holmes, we have advice for you.
That was a Monty Python skit.
Yes.
Where the main actor was very short and the female actor works in a trench. And then there's a scene they want her to change.
Oh, Scott
and
at the
she starts
Antarctic.
walking away, goes, I've worked for 30 years and I've always worked in a trench. I will never not work in a trench. I'm leaving here now.
That was a
this
great
trench doesn't go toward my
That
car.
was a great skit because it was like they were doing a movie, Scott at the Antarctic, which takes place on Brighton Beach.
Yes.
So we're gonna paint the sand white.
It's just puffcorn. Jeez. Only $2.29. Actually tastes like the price.
I believe there's a market for that.
You know, honestly, this kind of reminds me of the Ghostbusters cereal. All right, you know how like they have the new Ghostbusters cereal out there right now? And
It's just a markup of whatever existing cereals out there.
Oh, let me tell you something. I bought a box of that, and okay, it takes a lot for my kids not to eat something.
Sure.
Okay, this is a cereal with like sugarish marshmallows in it, and guess what? My
They
kids
hate it.
They hate it.
They hate it.
They hate it.
We got frozen cereal. Same thing. It basically was like Lucky Charms, but all done in the frozen motif.
Yeah.
And it was horrid. They had like half a bowl each of them. And they're like,
I don't think
no,
it
we're
even
done.
lasted half a bowl. I had like maybe 2 spoonfuls, and I was like, I'm done.
Bad. I honestly, I don't have a problem if you're going to take existing cereal, just throw on a company name or a franchise name on it for the time being.
Yeah.
And then take it off and go back to Cheerios.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't care about that, but don't create something for this and then make it what you made. That's just disgusting.
We're talking about movie-based cereals and like breakfast cereals, like, you know, where they came out with like C-3POs and Mr. T cereal. I pity the fool, don't eat my cereal.
Yep.
That cereal will live in the infamy of Pee Wee Herman history.
Ghostbusters cereal.
Oh,
that's
I
what
was
started
just
this
telling him
conversation.
that. That's what
But-
started the conversation.
But the point we're trying to make is like they could have simply have taken existing cereal, thrown on their company name or their franchise name. Again, I said it a company. Their franchise name on it for say 6 months to a year, rip it off and go back to whatever it was because it's going to be the exact same cereal. Instead, they create a whole new cereal that is gross. Anywho, I got to see the Misfits.
Well, now I'm pissed.
Hold on. About the Misfits. Were Jen and the holograms involved?
For what?
Were
No.
Jem and the holograms involved?
No.
No?
No. Anyway, so
Because she's truly
outrageous.
Michelle
Truly
Graves
outrageous.
was performing as the lead singer, and they were doing their American Psycho album, and I believe.
Oh, Misfits, yeah.
And I want to say Famous Monsters may have actually already come out by that time as well. But Guar was performing the second act, and the band was amazing. I was listening to them. I was having a great time. I decide I'm on the second floor. I see over in the far end they got merchandise, and you know me. It's like, oh, I got money in my pocket. I can't wait to spend it. So I go down. I'm starting to walk through the crowd. Excuse me. All right, don't touch me. Excuse me. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I really got pissed at this point. I just like, excuse me. And this opening just happened. And I am the only person in the middle of nothing. And at first I'm like, well, thank you very much. But of course, as I'm trying to get the thank you very much coming out, I get a punch in the back of the head because I just got in the middle of a mosh pit and I didn't realize it.
Oh.
Wow.
What was weird was I got the punch in the back of the head. I hit all fours and I would say either crab or spider-liked out of there. And it's not that I don't mind a good mosh pit. I've been in a few of them myself.
You weren't expecting it.
I just wasn't expecting it. And I wasn't in the mood for it at that time. Like I said, if I'm in the mood for it, I'll jump at you. Jamie seen me. He's seen me jump into a few pits, but it's like if I'm not expecting this, yeah, it freaks you the hell out.
Yeah, you didn't join me for the Slayer one that we like when they were doing the 25th anniversary.
You jerk.
Remember?
What are you talking about?
When Slayer and Megadeth came back and Slayer was doing
Testament was playing.
And the season
they
of the
were doing
Abyss.
Rust in Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
and then
there.
season of the bit, and they were doing the 25th season of the Abyss. You didn't go into the pit with me though.
No, I didn't.
When Slayer was playing, remember? You and Mark just hang back at the very end, and I'm like, I hear War Ensemble, guys, and you're like, oh, we'll just stay back here, and I'm like, fuck you. This might be the last time we get to see Slayer around here. Come on, let's go.
Well, I would have gone with you, but Mark seemed really depressed that day, so I was trying to hang out with him to see if he was okay.
Yeah, okay.
Is that scene from Suburbia where they have?
So, getting back to it, we all have memories of Halloween's past. And I mean, it's one of those things, trick-or-treating, going to Spooky World.
I remember the good old days of Halloween where, because like I take a look at costumes today from kids.
Cheap ass.
And I'll tell you, no, costumes.
Well, actually, some of the costumes we had were kind of cheap
today,
ass, too. Remember the masks? With,
true. Oh, my God.
We listen.
But I still
my
like
tongue would get stuck on those damn things so much.
Absolutely.
We had those masks that were made out of like a chemical factory out of like New Jersey. And like,
Garden State.
The Ben Cooper masks.
The Ben Cooper mask or the Bo and Duke mask or the...
No, Ben Cooper was the name of the company that made it.
It was
and they were all the same
production
face.
byproduct.
And then like you put the mask on and it would crack.
Yep.
And it would like start cutting in your face.
Oh yeah.
And then basically you get this little rubber band that somehow is like the thinnest little rubber band, and we like cut in the back of your skull.
Now, that was when we were really young. But I also remember sometime around the time, I want to say I was 11, maybe 11 or 12.
Yeah.
There was a series of stuff. Do you remember the Spencer Fair and Spencer Mass, the Spencer Fair? When you first walked in, when you knew it was the season, because that whole first area, they changed into whatever season it was. So I loved Halloween because you first walk in, you take a right, and there was all this Halloween crap right there.
You just see the costumes, and they were all, it was just like, it was like Christmas. You get excited about it.
Yeah. And I remember picking up, it was new at the time where they had foam applications that you could.
Oh, I remember when they
you could cut out of them. You could paint them, you can cut them out, and you put them on your face. And I remember doing mine as Freddy Krueger.
Ooh.
Actually, my cousin Jared.
Glove and everything.
My cousin Jared always had great costumes. I think a lot of the times he'd have like these like really gory costumes with like like brains and stuff showing. It's like wow, and the makeup would always look so,
So basically, he was Chainsaw from summer school.
Basically, yeah. But the makeup was always great. It would just make whatever I was dressed up in look like a piece of crap. But he was just like.
But that's the problem, is that the effort that it took for your brother, right?
My cousin.
Your cousin. The effort it took for your cousin to put the detail into that, to put the effort into it. Everyone else is like, nah, I'll leave it to the last minute. Oh, it's the last minute. I'll just go grab something from Party Central. I'm done. It's like, no, you're not even caring about what the spirit of the holiday even is. It's not even a holiday, but the spirit of the event is. Such as Jamie, as I said, came over complete getup as Fester.
Yep.
It's like, but put the effort of the makeup in, the light bulb, the frock coat. I'd actually rent that frock coat from an actual acting supply shop.
Yeah,
I could not find the coat.
It was the actual thing. It was a friar's like a friar tuck kind of thing, and it was actually heavy and big.
Oh my god! And his place sucked for heat.
It was hot. Yeah.
So I had to do that thing for like maybe an hour until everyone showed up, and then I can get out of it. Like, you good? You good? Oh my god! Get this thing off me! Get this thing off me!
Now this is exactly the reason why people like us love Halloween because of the trauma we had with those crappy costumes. Because besides the humiliation of those crappy masks, the worst part I think was the rest of the costume was basically a plastic smock.
That's what I was just saying. Yes. Yeah, it's a byproduct of petroleum production.
It's just like
with the face of the character on it. It's like hey. Batman and Batman's face on it.
It was like a full body Johnny. Because it had to be tied up in the back in those little plastic laces. That if your mom just tied up, it just went snap, and you're like,
I have to say, I have kind of a fondness for those costumes still too. Yeah, it reminds me of being a kid. One of my favorites is I actually had the mutant from This Island Earth. You know, the one with the brain.
Oh wow.
Yes. Okay, the big brain with the big eyes. Yes.
God, and that's old. I remember that one.
I had that. That was one of my costumes one year, and it was actually as a kid, one of my favorite costumes because I was one of those strange kids that didn't dress up as what was popular at the time. Although I did. I think when Empire Strikes Back came out, I did have a C-3PO mask, and my brother dressed up in a stormtrooper mask, and we went out like that for Halloween. But one of my
you came back.
I know. Well, I came back in one piece, yes. Because, C-3PO, Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, no, it's the Rancor!
Oh, Master Luke, I just got blown to bits. Oh, son of a bitch.
I mean, seriously,
wait a second. That sounds like an R2 unit in there. Maybe I can get my wank on. R2?
R2, you smoking a gibber over there. Oh, pass that funky shit over, motherfucker. Let's get funky with the skunky.
That one PSA we all saw as kids.
On behalf of Kevin, Jamie, Andrew, and Wayne, thank you for listening to the Mental Suppository. Until next week, this is Brett Herholtz saying,
I knew I'd disturb you.
The Mental Suppository has been produced by Brett Herholtz and Jamie Billings and distributed by the Media Project. Theme music generously donated by Mr. B, the Gentleman Rhymer. Visit his webpage at gentlemanrhymer.com. We would love to hear from our fans. Email us at mentalsuppository@gmail.com.